All right, hello everybody. We are going to discuss how we are going to implement a series of accountability reports for all of the marketing systems that I, as the branch manager, pay for every single month with our strategic partner, which is Scott Hudspeth and Carl White. Many of you have already been flown out and trained in the war room to understand the systems, and the system, quite frankly, is by the mortgage marketing animals, but is known as the Freedom Club. And the actual definition of the Freedom Club means that you are making enough money and helping enough people buy homes and refinance homes that you're essentially free to do whatever you want to do because you have that kind of income coming in. This business is a money-motivated business, and what happens is that we're going to use this system for accountability. You have a marketing director with John DeConick to help build your business, and the most important hire that we've had has been our Freedom Caller. Our most important recent hire is our Freedom Caller, Mike Berkey, sitting to my left. Mike is booking 20 and 30 plus appointments a week for full-time loan officers. Also, his new role being introduced to you by this video right now is he is the DSP manager. And that is a key component to using the mortgage marketing animal system. The DSP is an acronym for Daily Success Plan. And so I'm going to review all the components that go with it and when the accountability reports are due to Michael Berkey to review with me every single morning. So let's start with, let's first start with the follow-up from the appointments, okay? Because Mike Berkey doesn't work for free. I pay him for every single appointment that you all get to go on. Intro appointments for coffee meetings, group meetings, anything like that. So there's going to be some accountability that we're going to want to see what the success is for everybody getting onto your Thor's hammer. So we're going to start with the marketing assessment card. This is based off of the Agent Mastermind report card, which is inside the mortgage marketing animal system. And I'm just going to hit with a couple highlights on here. We're going to need the name of the realtor, the real estate company that the realtor works for, and years in profession, their contact information number, and their email. I personally sit at these coffee meetings and I break this out because I'm just like, hey, if you don't mind, I want to ask you a few questions. And of course, this is after I'm done frogging them, family, recreation, occupation, goals. We should all be frogging our referral sources. And so what I want to do is I want to see where I can help. I employ a marketing director that has a bachelor's degree in new media, which is social media, along with a bachelor's degree in marketing. We bring a lot of help to building your business. So I'm asking questions about Facebook and ranking them from 1 to 10, 10 being the best, 1 being poor. Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn. Then we go from social media personal and we go to social media business. And then we go to their database skills, how they're generating lead generation, how they're doing their database management, prospecting, closing skills. The last time that you had a professional photo taken. Things like that are really going to help build the knowledge of where that person is professionally in their business right now. So this is going to be due every day at 8 a.m. It's going to be done. Did we decide that we're doing a Google Drive system for all of this?
Yes, there'll be a Google Drive system which each LO, which each loan officer.
So it's not that you're gonna have to handwrite this and then transfer it onto the Google Drive report, basically. So
right, they'll be able to. Yeah, that's correct.
Okay,
go on
perfect.
to Google Drive. Yep.
So obviously, if you don't have any appointments on a Tuesday, then you don't need to put this in on a Wednesday. But you should also be doing your own appointments and asking referrals and everything else. So if you're having your own appointments, there would be nothing bad about sending this into the Daily Success Plan Manager so we can help you market and become even more successful. That being that's going to be covering the marketing assessment card. This is going to be due every single 8 a.m. by 8 a.m. again, and this is the daily success plan. And essentially it's going to cover your Monday calls, which is your Thor's Hammer calls. 30. You're gonna have 30 realtors on your A list. All right. Your Tuesday is your Just Ask campaign. Again, Wednesday is your past database. Your BNI, your other alternative referral sources, your bankruptcy attorneys, your CPAs, your financial planners. Thursdays, pre-approval Thursdays, and we got a killer new system that came out for the text messaging. It's basically, we're going to set you up that you can even send a group text to all of your realtors saying, hey, happy Thursday, who can I help get pre-approved for the weekend? So that's another great system that we've added. And then Friday, we're just working it up, man. We're doing what we do on Friday and doing our thing. So the daily success plan is due 8 a.m. the next business morning. One of the things that the daily success plan has is, for those of you that haven't been trained in the war room, either at the Texas events, the Las Vegas, Chicago, Florida, I'm always willing to send producing and productive loan officers to these 3-day workshops. But you don't have to go to them. They're hard to get in. I'll get you into the next ones if you all want to talk to me and figure out a way for me to get you into it. The great thing is that there's a username and password that allows you to log in and access all of the class videos and the tutorials so that you can dive in even deeper than what I'm going over today with you. Okay, so let's go into, I'm going to go into this report I'm going to go over here. I'm going to talk about this right here is my stalker book. I call it the Strategic Partners book just because I don't want something that says stalker book sitting on my desk. It's kind of awkward. So I call it my Strategic Partners book. And when you look inside my Strategic Partners book, I'm going to show you one of the examples here is, let's go, I start with A's. I have it alphabetical. I did it alphabetical. So here's a blank stalker book sheet, and here's one that's filled out, okay? This is Andy Hargraves with Coldwell Banker. And so what I did was I stole a professional picture from his Facebook, I dropped it on there, and I printed it out. Phone numbers, birthday, marital status, the amount of kids, everything else. Another good one would be John Kablitis. I have John's kids' names, their ages, they play Little League, one's in travel baseball. So when I call John Kablitis on my Thor's Hammer call day, it's, hey, how did Ty do pitching last week? Or how's his physical therapy, recovering from his elbow injury? Because I'm just frogging. It's family, recreation, occupation, goals. So when you do your Thor's Hammer, what I do is I only put my A list in the stalker book. And that's what I do. Now, if you have really good potential B list people, then feel free to put them in there also. So let's go into the system of Thor's Hammer. So my Freedom Partners, the A team, all right, this is a really good system that puts down the name and company, the email, and their address. I don't know if you need all that stuff, because you probably have your own system on how, but I at least have my name and my phone number so that I can quickly reference it. Email address is probably a good idea too. So what you do is you put your A list, and this is a list of regulars. These are real estate agents who know, like, and trust me and are referring me business. So on top of this whole thing, you would have, your A team realtors, their name, their company, and then you would have the weekly calls. You would take the weekly call and you would check it off. And there's strategically, and this is set up, for a month and for a long month, but we want to see this every single week. And we decided that we're doing this by Monday morning, right?
Monday morning again.
8 a.m.
8 a.m.
So it gives you the weekend or Friday to finish this off. And then it gives you an opportunity to track the leads that are given and how many leads. And then it says how many in-person meetings. I know right now I'm due for an in-person meeting with John Kablitis. So I'm just gonna, figure out if we're going to a ball game or if we're going to a cup of coffee or something like that. Then it has the handwritten notes. Remember, the handwritten notes are a key component to this. Tim Donner just sent out another round of your awesome notes. We've got all types of campaigns in here, the lucky campaigns with the $1 lottery scratch-offs. Those are wonderful. We can dive into how those work, but let's stick to, this is how My Freedom Partners A-Team looks. Now, the B team is, you always got to have a bench, because what I found out is, and I consistently find this out, is that you get this team, and this team becomes a super team, and you're closing $1 million a month without really even thinking about anything. Just there's $1 million a month there. And next thing you know, there's 5 or 6 lenders over there, and who's paying what and paying Zillow and all that. Next thing you know, you got 200,000 a month versus $1.2 million a month. So you lose $1 million of production. That's personally happened to me. And so when it happens to anybody in anybody's career, but if you have a B team, it really doesn't matter. One of your top teams can leave, and
Right.
so it just becomes next. Because you're just rotating people in. So one of the great examples of the B team, I would have to say, would always have been, 3 years ago, Kathleen Garden was my B team. She wasn't sending me anything. She was up in Macomb, but I'd call her every single week. And now all of a sudden, my B team is now my A team with Kathleen. She sends us everything. She pulls us into a meeting last week. We have the, half of the Agent Leadership Council there, or the ALC, and she's referring us to every realtor that there is that she can.
That's right.
And so now we've got 7 more realtors from that meeting that are on my B team that I'm calling to try to get them over to my A team. So these are realtors that you're wooing right here. The last part of this is really important, and I call it winter survival important. Because these really become extremely important in the wintertime. Not that they're just as important, but we go through such wild cycles here in Michigan with weather. So these are people that you're looking for alternative referral sources. Bankruptcy attorneys are always amazing. Help them work through their database. B&I have had no success. I can't even say that I've ever had any success. The only thing that I find from a B&I style group is that they love the monthly check, because there's literally nobody in there that's even thinking about referring you. That's been my experience. I think they're a complete waste of time. Everybody else might have completely different experience with that. Your attorneys, your family law attorneys, boy, these are people that are, you can really help family law attorneys, because most of they get a retainer, and their final pay is when the divorce decree is completely exercised. And the divorce decree can't get completed until the sale of real estate most of the time. So not only is this a great opportunity for you to go to bankruptcy attorneys and tell bankruptcy attorneys that, your goal is to help them help their clients and get this divorce done as soon as possible. So you've got 2 people that don't want to see each other anymore. They're getting divorced. All right, who's going to care the most? The guy sitting at Chase? No. It's going to be us, because we're going to line that bankruptcy attorney's clients up with a great realtor that services that market area, and then we're going to get a refinance or a buy out of this whole thing too. And they're not waiting till spring to sell their house. They're not waiting till spring to buy a house. They need to just not see each other anymore. They need to refinance. They need to do things like that. So CPAs, awesome, financial planners, property and casualty agents, those have to be in your Freedom Partners call list, because the more alternative referral sources that we get, the more balanced your book of business is going to be. There's a great spot on here for builders, okay? I would start talking to builders, and I wouldn't be talking about Pulte and Lombardo Homes or anything. I'm talking small to mid-sized builders. There's a lot of things that we can offer as far as education and marketing to builders, understanding how most builders don't even realize that on a USDA rural development loan, that if you provide a thermal guarantee, that, you know, the potential buyers, their debt ratios are allowed to go up to 43% because of the energy savings that are inside the house. So if you lead in with a builder by providing some type of value and knowledge and industry expertise, when you do that lead in with a builder, you're not just the next person that's sitting there saying, hey, I want to do your mortgages. You want to provide knowledge and marketing and everything else. So that's going to be weekly. And again, there's a video set for all of that. So should we finish with lead tracker? That's
Yes,
the last
lead
piece.
tracker's the last piece. Yep.
So the lead tracker is one more daily piece right here. And the lead tracker is absolutely imperative because of how of our branch is set up. Our branch is set up with loan partners. And if we don't know who your leads are, then none of this matters. And you don't have some fairy tale thought of how your book of business is actually going. You know, hey, I had a great meeting, you know. I mean, I hear that all the time. You know, I had one guy that called me twice a week and said, I had the most incredible meetings and everything else, except there was never any follow-up. There was never any loans that equivocated to the great meeting. So, you know, if you're not putting your eyes on a lead tracker, and if your lead tracker goes day in and day out with 0 names on that to call, and if you go a week and 2 weeks and 3 weeks and 4 weeks and next thing you know, you're like, wow, where do I need to adjust my business? So this is absolutely can be considered micromanaged, but it's not. It's managed for your success. It's managed for the branch success, because we're investing into you and we're investing into your growth. Go ahead, Mike, say anything else that you might want to say.
Yeah, the only other thing I wanted to bring up was that we're going to send you how to get a Google app so you can take it from your phone or whatever, because all these forms are going to be on the Google Drive. And hey, I'm here to help. So you can call me at 810-360-2221, and then my cell phone number is 734-233-4309. So that's all I wanted to tell you guys is I want to help and I want to make this work. All right?
And I appreciate you a ton. And what you got to understand is that what Mike is able to accomplish in a normal branch nationally, it takes 3 freedom callers to build what Mike is building as far as appointments. And so you're all very, very fortunate, because if you want to sit down with Mike or email him a list of what your prospects are. Again, you know, we got the Downriver Association of Realtors list right now going together right now, and he's just literally going to call every single one of them. And I'm going to have lots and lots of appointments. And so if you're working Knockbor, if you're working Oakland County, if you're working a specific realtor relationship, if you're working, you know, Coldwell Banker professionals, and you know you want to call all 394 agents at Coldwell Banker Professionals and get booked,
Right.
give him a list.
Yep.
And he'll get you booked. And I just think that's unheard of inside of these branches. So we don't want non-money making activities to be done by the loan officer. We only want you to do money making activities, and that is this. This is a money making activity. It seems like it's a burden. It seems like it's, you know, an additional thing that you have to do every single day. But I think we all want to make a lot more money.
Right.
Okay? All right, well, thank you, everybody. Have an amazing Labor Day weekend.